Yo, what is good, YouTube? It is Extra Saucy here, coming at it with probably one of my best videos I'll ever make, which is kind of crazy to say when I have this few of subscribers. If I blow up, I'll probably just retell or repost this story, but I don't even know what I'm gonna title this. This is like a day and a half of crazy shit after crazy shit. If you thought my last video was crazy, that is nothing compared to some of these other ones I got in the chamber. And this is the first round. So let's get into it then. To set the stage, this all happened on me and my girlfriend's 6-month anniversary. So at this time, I was still addicted to Xans, like the last video said, and I was still on Kratom. This is like from that same 3-month time period where I was just wilding. So basically, we hit up my plug, drove there. He had just got all sorts of shit, which is what kicked off my addiction. Is he started getting way more than weed, and it was fire. So he got this purple Molly, which when I looked it up, I have never ever really seen a picture of purple Molly, but I know it's out there. You hear it in song lyrics. I've seen it twice, but a little fishy. Maybe that isn't actually, what I think it is. But regardless, we buy it, and it's our 6 months, so we're all excited. I actually have school the next day on this day, but I just gave no fucks. At this point in time, I did not care about anything, which is what will happen when you take Xans every day, which is why you shouldn't. But anyways, we get back to my crib, we take the shit, feeling pretty good, but I got a haircut coming up. So, my girl paints my nails, which is kind of crazy, but yeah, first time ever, she paints my nails black, and I go off to get my haircut. The whole time I'm at this haircut, I'd imagine I'm tweaking. I remember like being looked at a little funny, but I don't remember too much of like anything going wrong. But that will not persist in this story. Shit starts hitting the fan pretty quick. So I get back from my haircut and me and my girl are kicking it. And I don't remember a whole lot of the activities we did, but I do remember I recorded 2 tracks and I thought they were both like the best things ever. And they're not terrible, but they weren't really that good. I do, however, remember talking about a lot of this stuff in my relationship with my girlfriend and actually having a lasting effect that persisted past this experience where things got a lot better in our relationship and I had like an enhanced admiration towards her. So it's kind of interesting seeing how maybe there could be a therapeutic use there, but still don't do it. After one time of doing MDMA or Molly or ecstasy or any of that, your brain gets fried off one go. It permanently damages your serotonin receptors, and serotonin is what makes you feel happy and emotional and all that. So bad news. But yeah, after a while of doing that, it's like 3 a.m. I got to get up at 6 a.m. So we're going to call it a night. And I could not sleep because, Molly's a stimulant. I couldn't lay in bed. I couldn't sit still. And I didn't want to. I felt so good. So I popped a Xan to sleep. And that is where the fatal error comes in here. Not fatal error, but, it's basically career suicide for a Xanax user. And the next thing I experience is my dad shaking me. And I guess he was shaking me for like 15 minutes. It's 9 a.m. I'm 3 hours late to school. And he's like, get your ass up and go to school. So he leaves for work and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And it didn't really click in my head that my dad probably thought I was super fucked up. I kind of was just like, I didn't really care. I didn't really click in my head that this was an issue. So I'm getting ready and I'm going insanely slow and I don't even notice it. I actually reboot up Ableton, my music software, and start listening and working on the song from the previous night. And I finish another song. And finally, it's about time I'm about to leave. And it's probably like 10 a.m. at this point. And I'm thinking, what the hell? Why not? So I'd had this ecstasy pill, half an ecstasy pill that I just hadn't touched for months. It's just been sitting there. And since I had such a fun time the night before, I just popped that baby and went into school. Now, here's where the difference is. The night before, I took crystal Molly, so it was for sure MDMA. This day, I took an ecstasy pill, so there's all sorts of other stuff pressed in there in addition to MDMA. You don't really know. It's a mixed bag. In the best case scenario, you have a great time and you're all euphoric. Worst case scenario, you overdose and die. So never take an ecstasy pill specifically. Those are the worst. And I'm about to tell you why. Thankfully, I made it out safe, but I get to school, fashionably late, march my way up to my communications class, same one from last video, surprisingly. And who is it? My fucking boy Gary. Gary was kind of like a hick, but he was the realest hick ever, and he was just one of my best friends. So we were assigned to sit by each other in this class, and every day we'd be doing kind of like our own work. He'd just hand me his vape under the desk. So this day, that's exactly what happened. And no, I didn't get caught or anything. It all went smoothly, and I made my way over to the men's room. I'm chiefing that baby in the stall, and something starts to happen. I have never ever been Nick sick in my life, but I hit this vape one time after taking this ecstasy pill, and I am sweating. I'm not talking regular Nick sick sweating. I'm talking I am sweating. I sweat all the way through my shirt, soaking wet. I sweat probably every last bit of fluid in my body. I'm in the bathroom, like dry heaving for a sec. I'm like, holy fuck, do I have to go to the hospital?
Nah, Dad will be pissed. You already came in late. You have to stay.
So I start drying off my skin with paper towels, and I head back to class. No one really noticed, I don't think. No one said anything to me, so that class got over. I get to my next class, which was a study hall. I'm sitting there, open notebook, nothing to do, and I just cannot get past how much I love my girl, especially after that night. It was perfect. So I decide to write her a note, and holy shit, this was the best fucking note I ever wrote. I swear to God, I put everything into words so beautifully. I could not do that right now. But don't do that, because the gift is always less genuine if you're on Molly. Very good class. But nah, after that, I go through a few more periods, lunch and all that, and I'm starting to come down. I'm sitting in the library and I am not feeling happy. So what do? I opt to take another Xan. Pop that baby in my schnoz and I'm ready to go. While I'm sitting in this library, this is the best way I can put it. I'm nodding out, but I'm seeing almost the visuals from Codeine Crazy in the music video as my vision. It's crazy. I start falling asleep, and I had this really weird experience where, I don't know, I guess I was inside my head, but it was like an alternate dimension. Like I didn't know who I was. And it's not like I could see a different dimension, but it felt like I was in one. Like no visuals, but I was hearing things. All I could hear was this woman yelling out, "Dinner's ready! John, dinner's ready! Get the kids!" Or some shit like that. But I was hearing almost like a woman I was married to calling me John and telling me to grab the kids or something. Just total delusion. And I finish out the rest of my school day. Nothing else really happens, but one detail I wanted to add is that kids were like taking time lapses of me nodding out through the classes and like the teachers walking behind me and doing nothing. And straight up, it's just kind of astounding that those teachers didn't give a damn. Like, they're all up in your business if your eyes are red and they think you're smoking weed or something, but when you're nodding out, sitting up, off Xans and Molly, like, that is no big deal, you know? We'll save the resources for the kid with his earbud in and the troubled youth who smokes that. Cannabis sativa! But nah, after that, I went over to my girl's house, I'm kicking it with her, and she starts telling me I'm acting weird, which is saying something when the last time I saw her, I was also on Molly. Like, I should be acting the same, but now I'm acting weird. So, kind of disregard that information, not really realizing the reason I'm acting weird yet, which also could be because I'm off copious amounts of Xanax. But still, I get really horny and I convince her we should have sex, and yeah. When that's all done, I start heading home. And I'm kind of starting to get the feeling now that I might get in trouble. Now that it's getting kind of closer to the time period where my parents are going to be home. So I call up my trusty boy Carl. And Carl is going to come to my house ASAP, pick me up, and we're going to be gone with the wind. All before my parents could even lay eyes on me. Genius plan, I know. So it's all set in motion. I get home, no one's there. I'm sitting in my room, and I get a text on my phone from Carl. It says, "I'm turning into your development right now." Boom. Escape goat. I'm home free, bitch. Literally 2 inches from the finish line. Brody hits me. Brody's here. Extra Saucy is about to fucking disappear. But who awaits me? My parents prepared to devastate me during this final frontier. Nah, for real though, sorry. When I'm in this program recording these stories, I just cannot help but like fuck around and add some effects. If you guys don't like the effects, let me know in the comments. I get they might be corny or something. I just think it's like fun, I guess. It kind of sets me out from the other channels who do this. But now, back to the story. So, I get a text from my friend that says my parents just told him to leave now. Shit a brick. Brick fell out of my shorts. For the first time all day, my barred up ass felt anxiety, which is something I wasn't very used to during this span of time. Anytime I felt anything that wasn't happy and I had these buggers, I was taking at least some. But that time would run out quicker than I expected, and is a very good thing. See, I had just bought 20 Xans, maybe a day previous to this. I'd only taken 2. Previous to this point, I had only bought maybe 5 or 6 at a time, so me getting the 20 sack, that's dangerous. That's where you start crossing into the Bartard territory. That's where you start really losing it. I probably would have lost my girl if this didn't happen, so I'm so grateful for this event. And so is she. Xanax kills sex drive. You are not going to be a performer on that shit. And you're also not going to be available for your partner. Because really, if they talk about their problems, it's not that big of a deal, man. I don't know why you can't just be chill like me.
'Cause she's not a fucking junkie.
So my mom gets inside, and I'm not even trying to make small talk. I know I'm fucked. I sit in my room, holding my legs tight to my chest, curled up, fetal position, and there it is. Lucas, get your ass up here!
You done, boy.
And indeed, I was. I walk upstairs, and I do not remember most of what happened. From what I do remember, though, I could not pee. I was so geeked up and nervous. My ass was not gonna piss in that fucking... Wait, asses don't piss. What the fuck am I talking? My cock was not gonna piss in that 16-panel cup she had. Her cup was one of those ones that tested for every single drug, except it was a special one that also tested for kratom. So, I was royally fucked. Eventually, I finally work up the courage to take a whiz. Results. I hope you guys are ready. Hold up, let me read these, because I wrote them down. Okay. I can explain. We got cocaine, MDMA, Xanax, hydrocodone, kratom, amphetamine, THC, and last but surely not least, meth. But this leads me to a good point. Most, if not all, ecstasy pills are laced with meth. Not just meth, but a bunch of other stuff. A few of those ones I was responsible for on my own terms. But then we look at things like amphetamine, meth, hydrocodone, all these things I didn't want to take. They tell you it's Molly, but really it's a lot more than Molly. In fact, I would say Molly is probably not responsible for the high like how meth is. I'm sure there is just a tiny bit of Molly in there, and the rest is meth. Meth is cheap. You can fucking get a pound of meth for like $1,000 or some shit. That's why the crackheads that are poor love it. And I love them, so I hope they get help. But what followed this drug test was something I didn't even expect out of myself. Of course, my parents are insanely disappointed, and I explained to them I didn't actually knowingly do meth, like, something was laced. But I did tell them about the Xanax and all that. And I'm just gonna add in real quick, they already fucking knew. I would come home from my job at Taco Bell ripped as hell, and they would the next day or even later that day go to talk to me about something we just talked about, and I would have no fucking memory of it. Unbelievable, bro. And they straight up just asked me, like, do you have any more? I could have lied in that moment. I had them hidden so well, my mom would have never found that shit. But even in my intoxicated state, for some reason, I went downstairs, got my bag of Xans, only set one aside. I gotta keep it real, I did set one aside. But grabbed the other 18 and gave it to my mom. Cannot believe I did that, and that one moment there is what really changed everything. Because if I didn't do that, who knows what would have followed. Imagine if my parents caught me again, I might have got sent to rehab. But in addition to the Xanax, I also gave them all of my kratom. So, as you guys probably would think, the next few days were insanely rough, and that is the lesson. I don't know how many of you guys can imagine this feeling, but I'm gonna lay it out for you what I was going through. I went through kratom withdrawal, Xanax withdrawal, the meth come down, a 2-day Molly bender come down, amphetamine come down, and I think that's it. Oh yeah, and I couldn't smoke. Fucking wild. During this 1 week period, I don't remember anything because I was so miserable. Bedridden on the time I actually had to sit in my bed because my parents were making me go to school. I almost had a seizure like 2 times, and the only thing I was using to prevent it was Amanita muscaria mushrooms because they work heavily on your GABA receptors, and medications that suppress seizures work by agonizing your GABA receptors. In addition to the 1 week of diarrhea, cold sweats, fatigue, depression, and a whole lot more, what followed for months was insane cravings for Xanax. For probably 5 months after I quit, I was having panic attacks. I would get so stressed out without even realizing it because it felt like it was normal. I'd just been stressed for so long at that point. I would break out in full-blown hives all over my whole body. I had a friend who had this same problem when he quit Xans, and he went to an allergen specialist who tested him for every allergen, and he tested positive for none of them. It was literally just the Xanax causing us to break out in hives. That's how bad this shit is for you. These pills, I would argue, are damn near as addictive as heroin. Me being someone who's done a lot of drugs, editor note, I have not done heroin, but still, none of them are quite as addictive as Xanax. And even if you take one for your first time, it just sneaks its way in. It relaxes you so much that you'll never think it's that bad of a thing, and that's how it gets a tight grip on you. And that's gonna do it for the video today, y'all. I hope you liked this shit. A little bit longer of a video for you guys. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, follow my Instagram at extrasaucy_speaks, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.